Hello, welcome back to Learn Oikonomia. Having discussed so many things about the syllabus, so many things about the content of UGC examination, this video concentrates on some tips to crack UGC NET exam in last few days. You might be at the brim of your exam. You might be thinking a lot about your exam. You might have covered your syllabus. Some might have covered your syllabus fully or completely. Some might be very tense regarding whether they could crack the exam or not. So this following these steps or the steps that we discuss in this video will be helping you to clear the exam. So clearing the exam is very important, no? Apart from covering your syllabus, there are many other things where you have to give focus to. So this video will be giving you some tips to deal with your exam. We are at the brim of the exam. There are only last few days left for the exam. So let's get started. So this would be helping you to to have memorize the topic with the ease. Instead of counting the number of hours you study, it is very important to see how effectively you manage the time. For example, rather than going for multitasking in the last few days, it is very important to concentrate on what you do. If you are studying for 6 hours, just make sure that you are engaging studies only in that 6 hours. Please don't engage in other activities while you study. This is very important, especially in the last few days. So keep your mobile phone apart. Keep your mobile phone, not only this, or various other devices or various other barriers which would be obstructing you from your studies could be kept apart when you go for studies. This is very important, especially in the last few days where you are very close to your exam. So please remember that you have to be very effective. So rather than increasing the hours you study, make an effective study. Next is time management. We could see that students prepare very well in their exams. They might be very clear about the concepts, theories, etc. But they fail. They fail to finish the paper on time. That means that they lack time management. They do not know how to manage their time. Dividing your time based on different sessions is very important. The main reason behind these kind of failure, the failure to manage time, this is because of the lack of time management skill. So you have to practice. This is the only thing that will be equipping you to manage your time properly. You can take previous question papers, you can take mock tests, you can answer different sets of questions and see whether you could manage your time. And you have to ensure that you are able to manage your time. This is very important, or this is more equally important than covering your syllabus. So I am not telling that this is equally important than covering your syllabus, but it is more important than covering your syllabus. So manage your time properly. In order to manage your time, take mock tests, take previous level question papers and answer them. So these are the only things that will be equipping you to manage your time properly. Now, exam analysis is very important. Exam analysis in the sense that you might have covered a lot of syllabus, you might have covered the full of your syllabus, but you might be very confused regarding how the exam paper would be. So in order to understand the pattern of the exam, what you have to do is you have to take the previous year's question paper, analyze frequently ask questions. The frequency would be there. Certain questions we have discussed a lot of questions that have repeatedly asked in the examination. So you from these kinds of analysis of different question papers of different years, you will be able to understand first thing, the pattern of your questions. Second thing, the repeatedly asked questions, repeatedly asked areas. All these things would be familiar to you, so that you can concentrate on these kinds of areas which will help you to shape your performance for the final exam. So it's very important to go to the previous year's question papers. Next, When you are in the examination hall, it is very important that you have to be very alert, very vigilant while you read the questions. Reading and understanding the question is very important, because the options which you see in the exam, I mean the options under the question might be confusing. You might be confused with option A or C. You might be thinking whether it is option A or C. You might be very sure that B and D are wrong options, but you might be confused with option A or C. How to understand the right option? How to understand the right answer from this confusing option? So, in order to help you, you can just search for the keywords in the question. The question might be asking for which is not the correct sentence or which is the wrong sentence. So here the not, which is not the right sentence, that means that the not thing, not N-O-T, that is very important. That is something which you have to emphasize to. Otherwise, there are many chances. I could see that many people, they miss the word not, and they go for, they just read the options and they mark the wrong option. So you have to be very vigilant, very clear while you reading the question. Reading and understanding the question is very important. It is more than equally important. I should say. I mean, it is more equally important than you cover the syllabus. That's what I intend to say. Next, while you study, it is very important, especially this is very important in the last few days before the exam. Just take some breaks after every study session. It is not good for you to study for 6 hours continuously. That may give you overstrain. That may make you feel lazy. That may give you strain only. So, in order to avoid these kinds of things, just involve in other activities as well, in order to make you stress free. After every session, just take ample amount of break. The amount, the time that people prefer to have a break time would differ from person to person, and also the attention capacity, that too would depend, or that too would differ from person to person. So what you have to do is that whenever you feel lazy after studying a lot of things, just stop learning, just take some break and then return to your learning, so that you will be energized to learn more. So be relaxed, eat well, study with proper dedication. That too is very important. It is very important to go for it is very important to go for relaxation techniques, and also your diet plays a very important role. Your sleep plays a very important role. Balancing all these plays very important role to equip you to face the exam with confidence. Next, how can you increase your accuracy and speed in computerized exams? You know that the timer would be running on one side of your screen, and if you look at the timer, you would be again more stressed, right? So you can see that during the last few days, we can increase the speed without losing your accuracy, which would be boosting your confidence. You have to answer maximum number of question papers. You have to keep a timer near you, and you have to see whether you could keep track of your time while you answer the questions. This is something which I have already told you. Don't take overstrain, take a break, take rest, take proper diet, take proper sleep, etc. Otherwise, overstrain will make you sick. So it is very important to follow certain rules and regulations which are set not by others but set by you, to equip you to face the exam with accuracy, confidence, etc. Get everything ready before the exam. It is very important. Take the printout of your hall ticket, other necessary items that you need to carry to the examination hall. Take a list of all these things and make sure that you have everything ready before you leave your residence for your exam. So, and also it's very important to go through the hall ticket very carefully. There might be instructions given in the hall ticket which will be helping you to face the exam without any obstructions, and there will be certain instructions given in the hall ticket, and following these instructions is very important. So it's very important to get everything ready before you leave your residence for your exam. Next, it is also important to get familiarized with the venue of the examination hall. It might be far away from your residence, or it might be closer to your residence. That doesn't matter anymore, but the important thing here is that if it is far away, if the venue of your examination is far away from your residence, then go there the day before the exam to avoid tiredness. Because if you are traveling a lot on the day of your exam, that will make you more tired, and staring a lot in front of the screen also would make you more tired. So these all things will add to your tiredness. So rather than that, it is very much better for you to go to the venue of the examination hall the day before the examination hall. Take a room near the venue of your exam and go to your exam on the day from that particular location, rather than traveling a lot from your residence. And there might be chances that you don't know the venue, you have not visited the venue before the examination hall. So in that case, be familiar with the venue by using several aids like Google Map. Just by talking to your friends who are familiar with the venue, you can understand the distance between your residence and the venue. So all these things would be helping you to be at the venue of your exam on time. Next, avoid unnecessary things. Make sure that you do not carry any electronic devices or bad items inside the examination hall. There are certain items which are clearly given in the instruction by UGC that these things are not allowed inside the examination hall. If it is given as not allowed, then please do not take these items to the examination hall, because if once you take all these any of these items to the examination hall, that will make everything in a mess. So even your mindset will be in a kind of mess. So just avoid those kinds of situation by leaving all these things apart, and please do not carry any of these things to your examination calls. Please take a note that you do not carry any unnecessary things to the exam hall. Next, behave properly. This is very much important at the exam venue. When you are at the front of the system, system in the sense when you are at the front of the computer which is allotted to you, you would be monitored. From the time you are given a computer to go for the exam, you will be monitored. So make it sure that you behave properly at the venue, in front of the system. So it is very much important that you would be monitored, and so please behave properly. And also you have to be very much aware of the disadvantages of the system. Now the exam is not a pen and paper kind. uh, Pen and paper kind of exam have many advantages, but now you are actually giving your response to the question given by the UGC with the help of a system, right? Now you are given a computer, you would be sitting in front of the computer and you would be answering. Chances are very high that your system can go uh, off. So this doesn't mean that your system will go turn off, but there can be chances. So it is very important for you to manage your posture. You have to manage your posture in such a way that you do not touch the CPU. Okay, if there are chances that if you touch the CPU, the system may turn off. If you touch the power button of the CPU, that is very important. If you touch the power button of the CPU, or if you give a long press to the power button of the CPU through your leg or something, there are chances for it to turn off, and once it turns off, it's very much difficult to arrange the system in such a manner that you could continue the exam. You might lose a lot of time. So please make sure that you are in a good posture. You are in a good posture, that just manage your posture. Okay, that's it. So, and if at all your system turns off, you have to seek help if needed. You have to call the supervisor or the invigilator in your examination hall and tell as soon as possible that your system has turned off and please help. You have to call for the help. So you will be getting help. I don't know whether you'll be allowed extra time or not, but still you should call, you should give a call for help. So that's all. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more video, and I welcome you to my Telegram group and Telegram channel to discuss your doubts. Thank you.